Listen, you can't go into a hat shop without trying on a beautiful hat like this. We're here at Hastings Hattery. Coming up next, how to make even the simplest hat dressed up just a little bit and to get the most wear out of your hat. The many looks here at Hastings Hattery. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Oh, I know, you feel so special trying on all the different kinds of hats, and it almost changes your personality a little bit. Rachel, first of all, congratulations on the new place. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, yeah, we built everything ourselves, so every piece in here was custom made, which makes it all that much more special. So
now, a hat is a big investment for people.
Yes, it can be, for sure. The biggest goal for us here is to help people to find stuff that they can use all the time, so that they're really versatile. This hat, for example, is my go-to hat. I travel with it. It's my baby. I wear it with jeans or with a little black dress because it can be shown in so many different ways. So essentially you get 3 or 4 looks out of one hat. And that's really what we're trying to build on here too. Whereas Granville Island is quite a bit about buying the hats and finding something that you love. This is more about restoration.
And you have a great way to even just enhance a simple sun hat.
Absolutely. So something like this, I mean, you can really dress it up by putting a beautiful basic bow on it, or you can make it quite a bit more casual with these great leather bands that are made here in Vancouver by Broncino, which are two-tone. So you have the option of going with something orange or pink or whatever color you like, and making it more casual for jeans versus more dressy for a wedding or an event.
So when you were even relating it back to all kinds of fashion, because obviously hats are fashion as well, it's sort of like that concept that you could have one outfit and create many different looks with it.
Absolutely. It's the little black dress, right? I mean, you can put on some really bright accessories like this and make it look really fun and summery, or you can definitely go more dramatic with a basic black or a cream and make it more black tie.
Well, throughout the morning here at Hastings Hattery, we're going to be talking about looks for the Deighton Cup. We're also going to talk about the proper way to take care of your hat. Coming up in the next segment, Jody. Yeah, no problems when a hat is involved. This is the place to hang out. Coming up next, proper care of your hat. And we take a look at some of the cool vintage stuff they have here at Hastings Hattery. See you in a bit. We're at the Hastings Hattery, but I got to say, Rachel, it feels a little bit like we're hanging out in the club.
Well, you know, if you have a disco ball, why not hang it, right? Enjoy
I love it. Yeah. Exactly. That's the life advice right there. Why not hang it if you have a disco ball?
You can't have a bad day when you have a disco ball in your office.
We need to take care of our hats. Super important.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, care is king when it comes to hats. This one here, for example, is over 100 years old, and if you look at it, it looks like it could have been made, you know, a couple years ago, and it's really about care. So a good boar bristle brush, which you can buy for a couple dollars even at Shoppers, will really help you to maintain the nice finish on the hat, get out any sort of dirt you have once it's dry.
So you're literally brushing it.
Yeah, you just want to give it a gentle brush. With this one being older, you want to be very careful, but with a felt hat that you have, just a nice, aggressive, but not too hard.
What about the rain in Vancouver? How do we properly store our hats and take care of them?
Yeah, the key to rain is really making sure that you hang the hat once, you don't store it on the brim. So letting it dry out and then give it a brush again.
Now, you've got some great vintage equipment here.
We do. This is amazing. This is a gold leaf embosser, so we can actually personalize your hat by embossing your initials in the band.
How old is that machine?
It's circa about 1865.
Oh my gosh.
So luckily I have a very handy electrician in the family who was able to get it up and running for me.
It just goes to show some of the oldest things still do some of the best work. You have these blocks as well that not only acts as proper care for your hats, but in the actual creation of a hat as well.
Yeah, most of our blocks are vintage. So this is the kind of stuff that, you know, these are the same forms that would have been used throughout however long, you know, the last 100 years. And the nice thing about these is that we can actually reshape hats with these. So if they do get a little bent out of shape from the rain, they can bring them in.
And then storage of hat, nothing like a hat box, and of course the stands as well, very important.
Yes, absolutely.
But don't let not having the official equipment bother you, because
an empty bottle always works. I mean, and who doesn't have one of those hanging around?
And then you just plop your hat on there and it keeps it nice and dry and keeps its shape. More details on Hastings Hattery, you can go to their website. Michelle, coming up next, we're actually going to take what could be a family heirloom, something that has some sentimental value, and make a fascinator with it, something you could do at home.
Ooh, cannot wait. Thank you very much. Love those hat boxes too.
Well, and you know, fascinators are huge right now as well. In fact, they've been huge for a long time, especially as we get into wedding season. So this is a beautiful option. But what about using something that is a little closer to your heart to put on your head? We're going to show you how to make a sentimental piece into a fascinator. Up next on BT. We'll be right back. Well, exactly. And we're going to be making our own fascinator. But right now, MJ is doing what, Rachel?
MJ is working on the crown for a custom fedora we're working on for a client.
Excellent. So that's important people to know. So they can get their hats here, but you can also make custom hats. And you're going to show us how to make something ourselves.
Yeah, we're going to do something fun this morning. So one of the things we were talking about was how you can take something that's really important to you. Maybe you have a piece of jewelry, a brooch, or an earring, or something that came from someone you really, loved in your family. And it's something that maybe you don't wear all the time. And this is a great way to incorporate it into something you can really enjoy.
Because that really does bring about your confidence when you're wearing something that has some sort of emotional connection for you as well.
Absolutely. You know what? It brings your confidence out. It makes you feel great when you're wearing it. And it makes you feel like you got someone sitting looking on your shoulder.
All right. How do we make it?
So the basic thing here is to take the base, and then something like veiling can really dress up a fascinator easily, right? And it gives it some fun, whimsical tendencies too. So just by pinning the veiling into here, you can kind of start playing with the look that you like. And the more you pin, the more texture you'll get. And then you can add anything from a feather to some beads.
Where would you get some of these items?
A really great place in Vancouver is Dresso. I mean, you don't spend a lot of money, and you can get some fun stuff. And then by adding, that brooch or that piece of jewelry we talked about, it just brings the classiness up a little bit. It gives it definitely a more black tie look. So it's perfect for weddings or the Deighton Cup or anything like that.
But you've got like a fashion sense. You're a designer by nature. What about someone like me? I wouldn't even know where to put the brooch to the netting to the...
Yeah, well, that's the fun thing too, because you can come in and hang out with us for a half hour, and we're really able to just design something that you love, and then you can be involved in the process, and we can whip it together for you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And Jody, so I'm going to show you this. This is what a finished one looks like right here. Something as simple as a good piece of jewelry, and it can even be costume jewelry. Something that has some sort of emotional connection can actually be your work of art for very little money. Great information here from Hastings Hattery this morning. Oh, definitely, and it's intricate work, the making of hats here at the Hastings Hattery. We've got MJ right now just creating what I would like to say is a masterpiece, truly works of art here at the Hastings Hattery. So we are talking next about Deighton Cup. Of course, that's just around the corner. What are some great options, and what are our great options for all different confidence levels, men and women? Up next. Exactly, and as Deighton Cup is just around the corner, we want to make sure that you look fashionable, because even as much as the races is about the hats you're going to wear, right, Rachel?
Absolutely, that's most of the fun, actually.
And we've got some great little options on right now, but you have some great options for the men.
Absolutely, a lot of times we talk about ladies, but there's definitely some fabulous options for men. This is a classic Panama, so a bit of a larger brim, but a hat that never goes out of style. And then we move over here to more of a stingier brimmed fedora. You can see by the ribbon, it's a little bit edgier, right? It's a little bit more fashion forward with the leather trim, which is a signature from Chacha's House of Ill Repute in New York, which is a really fun hat, just a little bit funkier.
And a fun name.
Yeah, she's amazing. It's a great, she does great stuff. And then these are really fun too. So if you're not looking for a brim, you can always go for a cap. And these are some beautiful caps that are actually handmade on Vancouver's North Shore by a wonderful gentleman, Mr. Mavilli, who makes hats exclusively for us. So you can go with a traditional flat cap or more of the Gatsby style.
And of course, we were talking earlier about how you could make your own little fascinator. Let's talk about this option right here.
Yeah, this is a wonderful fascinator from Canadian Hat. So really easy to wear. It's just on a headband, so you can definitely do your hair and then pop the fascinator on and still get a nice statement piece. And then the pixie topper, another lovely one from Chacha's House of Ill Repute in New York. She does the leather trim again, but still really whimsical, feminine with the pink and the feathers. And then we go to a large brim, a beautiful large brim from Lilliput out of Toronto. And this is just a classic Audrey Hepburn style. You can't ever look bad in one of these.
And then finally,
this one's similar to the one Dawn was wearing, another a disc style fascinator on a headband. So bright colors.
So obviously lots of different styles, lots of different price points as well. What would you say is a good beginner price point for somebody when they're looking at buying a hat?
Yeah, for ladies, you can definitely get into a nice fascinator for around $70, $80. Something even that's made in Canada. So that's something to consider. And then for gentlemen, in the same range, a nice cap will start somewhere around $48.
And if you take care of it, it'll last a really long time. Of course, Hastings Hattery just opened up here. They've got the other location, Granville Island, as well. But lots of great options as we get ready for Deighton Cup.